Hey, family. This is another episode of the Blemish Beauty Podcast, and I am your host, Shira Renee. If this is your first time listening in, I want to thank you for tuning in, and I pray that you hear something worth holding on to. For those of you who are joining me again, welcome back. The goal of this podcast is to erase the norm and embrace the truth. We all hide behind some kind of mask. So in this space, I want you to feel free to own your scars and see the beauty within. I am a Christian influencer, a mom, an entrepreneur, a content creator, and Jesus Christ is my source in all things. And I believe that with Him, anything is possible. So with that being said, let's jump into today's episode. So today I wanted to do something different. In honor of season 1, I wanted to bring back some of my older episodes and add the season 2 twist to it. Now, this episode in particular was near and dear to me because it was my very first episode, and I believe this one had the most views. This episode was entitled Know Thyself. And I titled it Know Thyself because I believe in order to know where you want to go, you must know who you are. 1 Thessalonians 4:11 and 12 reads, "Make it your goal to live a quiet life, minding your business and working with your hands, just as we instructed you before. Then people who are not believers will respect the way you live, and you will not need to depend on others." We are created to not only be an example, but to live by example. There is purpose in all of us, and in order to tap into that purpose, we have to drown out the outside influences and the negative noise around us. Knowing your purpose is important because if you go around living life without knowing what it is, you will end up attaching yourself to people, places, and things that will delay you from your destiny and rob you of your peace. I want you to take a moment and think about your life. Think about every person, every place, and everything that's attached to you. Now I want you to ask yourself, when I'm around these people, do I feel energized or drained? When I'm in these places, am I celebrated or tolerated? When I have these things, is it more of a want or a need? If your answers were negative, then it's time to regroup and remove some things. If your answers were positive, then you're on the right track. For those of you who need to remove some things, I don't want you to feel bad. Look at things this way. Now that you're aware of what you don't want, you can now make room for what you do want. For those of you who are on the right track, I'm sure you can testify and say that it took going through some things to get you to this place where you now prioritize your peace. In order to tap into the life that God has designed for us, we must model after His behavior. We must show love and give grace and value peace because in those moments, that's where we can truly hear clear instructions on how to move forward. Relationships, whether they are romantic or platonic, are not easy, but when you know who you are and you surround yourself with like-minded individuals and people who celebrate you, it makes the journey so worth it. Now, for my season 1 alumni, here is your favorite part of the segment. This is what I like to call the beauty mark for the week. Now, for those who are just tuning in and you are joining me on this journey, and season 2 is your first season, the beauty mark is a positive seed that I pray stays with you after each episode. It's something that you can take with you to reflect on and use for yourself. And prayerfully, you hear something that will also bless others. You are not here by accident. You have been created to do great and amazing things. You have survived 100% of the things that were sent to destroy you, but God knew you were strong enough to handle it. If you got through all the things that you thought would have broken you back then, you will definitely get through whatever you're facing now. Don't let people who don't have to live with the consequences of your choices make decisions for you. Walk by faith and know who you are and whose you are. You are God's child, and He got you. He got you this far, so continue to trust Him, and you'll get through the rest. Hope you enjoyed this bonus episode.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Blemish Beauty Podcast, and I need you to remember, you are graced and gifted for a time such as this. You are not here by accident. You have purpose in this world, and you have been created to do great and amazing things. Make sure you connect with me on Instagram and on Facebook at the Blemish Beauty Podcast, and follow me on TikTok at SheraRenee510. Until next time, spread love, show grace, and shine bright.